Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talk About House. I'm Todd.
I'm Juana.
Okay, we are going to talk about how the crash bros and how other people.
What? There are crash sisters out there. Let's not leave out the girls.
This is a crash sister.
Yes.
But I still call them all crash bros. Okay, how they use visually deceptive charts and things like that to sort of try to make their point. So here is a post I found on X. And here's the quote. Entire neighborhoods of single-family homes in Frisco, Texas were bought up during COVID and converted into rentals, many of which now sit unoccupied. Juana, are 100% of all rentals always occupied all the time?
No, of course not.
What is that called when they're bought and they're either getting repaired or in between tenants? What's the word for that when there's nobody living in the house?
Well, we have turnover, right? So during turnover time, that the house is vacant. Very few times do we have a situation where we can go from tenant to tenant. I have done that, and it's been glorious, where I literally do the walkout, or the move out walkout with the one tenant, and the incoming tenant is waiting for their turn. They're just outside the door. So I've got one person walking out and another person walking in. I've had that, but it is very rare. Most of the time the house goes on the market, or maybe the house needs to have repairs done. For example, maybe we'll replace carpet, or we'll do paint, or whatever it is that we're doing to make the house appealing so we can get the most rent for the home, or just to make the home more comfortable for the next occupant.
Okay, when you see these little price bubbles, they are pretty darn big. Many of these bubbles are literally the height is 2 full streets, and then the width is probably 10 to 20 houses. So these could cover, each one of these bubbles could cover up like 40 houses the way this chart is displayed, right?
Right. I mean, when I was looking at it, depending on where you're looking at, it could be 40, 50 houses that bubble is covering up. So I thought it was kind of funny. But remember, this is about statistics. This is about driving engagement to somebody's page, and agents trying to convert that engagement to clients. So it's not about this agent being accurate. This is about this agent driving engagement and getting clients out of the deal.
Yeah, I don't even know it's an agent. I don't know that it's a real estate agent.
Well, even if it's not an agent, it's still the same principle. Whoever's doing it, they're doing it for engagement. They're doing it for to get paid for clicks and ads and that sort of thing.
Okay, so what I did was I went on Realtor.com in the exact same area, Frisco, and I zoomed out. But instead of being able to select the huge price bubbles, I just said a purple dot. Now, the purple dot is still pretty darn big. At this scale, the purple dot is probably covering 6 to 8 houses, if not more, because of the way it sits on the, it's at least a full street width. And then it's, probably, like I said, 6 to 8 houses, right? Now, what I found was some of the areas, I zoomed in on some of the areas where it shows like a lot of dots together. And those are generally apartment condo complexes.
Okay.
Condo and apartment complexes tend to have a high number of vacancies in a small area, right?
Well, not only that, but you're talking about density, right? So maybe you're looking at a building that, let's say, has 50 units, and so 50 units might have two vacant units. That's not a lot. But because they're in a small area, then those dots are going to be on top of each other.
At normal vacancy rate, a 50-unit thing would probably have 5 open units in a normal market or more. And it would look like hell when you looked like, oh my God, there's all these things here, but you realize it's highly dense. So what I did again is I zoomed in again, and I got back to bubbles. And I zoomed in on an area that looked pretty average on the chart. Now, what you notice is there's some areas where there are no rentals. And on this, so you can see the granularity of the house, right? So even at this scale, when you zoom in, that bubble, you can look at some of these, that bubble is still covering almost 20 houses, probably 15 houses. Even zoomed in, and remember the original poster had zoomed out quite a bit more, and you could see how big the tags are huge. So what I wanted to do, the reason why I showed this to Juan and she laughed, is you can see that the total on this whole thing, there's easily over 1,000 houses, maybe 2,000 houses in this whole thing here. And there's probably 12 total. Now, all of these are not rentals. Most of these are probably owner occupant, right?
Sure.
And you definitely have some rentals in here because everyone doesn't. You have. It's funny because this one neighborhood kind of in the middle where you have nothing. Like there's nothing available for rent. It probably maybe it's a desirable area. Maybe the HOA doesn't allow rentals. I don't know. But I just want to point out, you have to be careful when you see these charts and when you see this kind of data, right? Because it makes it look terrible, but there's not really any more rentals than there would be in a normal market. But this person's really pushing the limit of, whatever here.
Right. So it's like with anything else, when you look at data, pay attention to it. Make sure that you're not being manipulated or the data is not being manipulated. Take a good look so that you truly understand what's happening and are not drawing conclusions based on data that's in any way being skewed or misrepresented.
Yeah, if you were trying to imagine this, let's say this is a real estate agent, and the person comes to them and says, I'm thinking about selling the house, but I may rent it. Now, the agent's going to make a lot of money if they sell the house, and they're not going to make that much if they rent. It's like, oh, no, look at this chart. Look at all the rentals that are available. It's going to sit empty forever. You should just sell the house. Because of all the rentals I'm showing you, they're sitting there. Because the banks came in and they're just sitting vacant. You have to compete with all of them. And they're like, oh, hey, we don't want to maybe not ever rent or have to really drop the price, so we'll just go ahead and sell it.
Okay, so rentals kind of follow the same principle as homes for sale, right? If you're not getting a tenant, then that probably has to do with one of two things. Number one, price, and number two, condition of the property. So if you're not getting inquiries, then change the price. That'll generally generate some inquiries. And if you're still not getting the inquiries, take a look at the property and say, hey, is this a desirable property in a desirable area? Because if it's not, then you have to adjust the price accordingly until you get to that threshold where that price makes sense to potential tenants. It's the same thing when you're selling a home. Same principle. You adjust the price until you get to that threshold where that value proposition makes sense to a buyer.
Yep.
All right.
That's it.
So hopefully you found that interesting or entertaining or amusing or something like that. Please leave us your real estate related comments. We appreciate them. Remember to subscribe, hit the notification bell, share the video, like the video, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Bye.